wealthier women in commercial real estate to give to humanity without limits. Welcome to Ladies Night with Steph Block. Thank you so much for coming to Ladies Night with me, Steph Dablosky, and our featured special guest tonight, Jazmin Salinas. She is an entrepreneur at heart, a wealth creator, and she currently has 880 units as a GP. With only about a year or so into this business, she's killing it. And yeah, she's going to share a little bit of her story with us and why always over delivering is so important. Jazmin, please tell us a little bit about your background, your story, and how you got into multifamily.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you, Steph. Thank you so much for having me. I see some familiar faces and I see new faces. So super excited to be here with you. And yeah, just a little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Mexico, always been an entrepreneur. I had my first business. I had my first startup when I was 15 years old. I always wanted to have my own business. I never saw myself working for somebody else and all those things. My dad is an entrepreneur himself. So pretty much I couldn't see myself doing anything else than owning a business. And that's how I grew up. I got my business degree and then a couple business degrees because that's what I wanted to do, start my business. And here I am. When I was 17 years old, that's when we moved to United States. It was nothing that we wanted to do. We had a really great life. I was already in college. I was doing my businesses. So I was living the great life. But in Mexico, things are not very safe. So my dad got kidnapped, and it was a really hardship that we went through as a family. But now looking back, it just made us stronger. It made us get closer to God and just be grateful for every moment and for our family, for all the opportunities that we have. So that's a little bit about me. So start here. We moved here. Thank God my dad is with us today. After he was kidnapped for 36 days, when he came back, our life wasn't the same again. So one of the reasons why I try so hard every day is because it's on my mind every day. Like, he sacrificed everything that he had, like all his businesses and everything, for us to move here just to be safe and be happy again. So I gotta make it count. It's a lot of pressure. And if you guys, I see some of you guys are immigrants as well. So it's a lot of heavy, we carry a lot of heaviness that we need to prove make our the sacrifices that our parents made or that we made count. It is hard. I'm also gonna be writing, I'm gonna be a co-author for Powerful Female Immigrants. So I'm excited to share that, how it is to be an immigrant. But at the same time, one of the things that I want to share with you guys today is we need to start where we are with what we have. And I guess my challenge and my barrier was to be an immigrant and to start from zero and not speaking the language. But the thing is, we all have different challenges. Nobody has it together. And we just need to understand that we need to take action where we are with what we have, because there's so many things that are totally out of our control. And what do we do? What do? I can just play the victim and cry. Yeah, but that is not going to take me where I want. And that is not going to make a difference. And my dad taught me a very good lesson that I will carry until the day of I die. And he said, like, somebody in the same position that you are is winning. So we all have challenges. We all have struggles. Nobody has it together. Nobody, like, we all struggle in different aspects, and it's okay. We just need to embrace that and start where we are with what we have and just take action. So that's a little bit about my background. So when I moved here, I just started what I could and just got a degree in business, continue trying to follow that dream, even if now it was 20 times harder, not speaking the languages and going through a whole immigration process. You can get a social security, all that, all those struggles. But I knew that I had to control what it was in my hands, and the rest it had to be on God's hands. God started a couple businesses and just working myself little by little. And my business, I started in real estate 4 years ago. My first, it was actually a job that I had in a real estate firm, just as a disposition manager, just selling investment properties, single family land, a small multifamily. And that's what opened, that was my first exposure to real estate. And I was like, okay, I love it. This is what I want to be. I wasn't sure what exactly, but I just like loved real estate. And at the same time, as I told you since the beginning, I also wanted to have my own business. So all this time working all these jobs, I was just saving money because I knew I wanted to have my business, but I didn't know what kind of business. But I was like, whatever I decide to do, I know I need capital. Even if you have investors, or if you ask for a loan or whatever, it's not the same to say, okay, I have 50K, can you loan me 10K or 20 or whatever? That's the way I thought. And my dad was like, whatever business you start, you need money. When I got this job at the real estate firm, that's when I started like understanding how real estate works, how investors work, what's their criteria. And I had money myself. I remember I had back then, I had 40,000 in my bank account. And I was like, I should do something with this. I couldn't buy a house. And but I was like, I should be able to do something. So I was like, should I get a duplex? Should I get a house? What should I do? So long story short, I bought a small lot in a nice community here in Texas. And I was like, when I started this job, I understood how to analyze properties, how to investor works. And I was like, I didn't get such a good deal when I bought it. So I'm just going to resell it. So I sold that lot. And I was like, now I have money. What should I do? So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy another one. And long story short, that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years, buying resale land. And last year, I wasn't sure what was my next step. It was like a way to get rich quick, but I wasn't really building wealth. And I was like, okay, what's next? Should I get a duplex? Should I get an Airbnb? There's so many things that you can do in real estate. And I was like, I attended to the real estate summit and I was like, okay, this makes sense. Everything made sense. Is how quick you can scale in real estate, how you can use other people money, the tax benefits. On my business, I had to pay taxes on the capital gains every year. And you don't get any of the tax benefits that you get in multifamily. So everything made sense to me. And that's how I started in multifamily.
You found a way to make capital that went and funded that multifamily. And I think for other people that stumble across multifamily, it winds up being, I know I want to do this, but how do I do the other part to make capital? It's fun to see different people come across it in different ways. And yeah, so I noticed you got into massive capital at some point. Like, how did you go, okay, I'm going to do multifamily and now I'm going to partner with massive capital in what I do?
Yes. Okay. After the summit, I understood this is my next step and I'm just gonna figure it out. I didn't know where to start or how to start, but I was clear on two things. This is what I want to do next. And two, I need to leverage somebody else because I don't have it. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the net worth. I don't understand half of the things that they talk about. I'm not underwriting. So I was like, if I wait until I understand everything, it's going to take me probably 50 years and I have no time to wait. So I was like, I just need to partner up. To me, I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to partner up with somebody who is good at it. And in the real estate summit, I realized everybody was looking for deals. Everybody was talking to brokers. Everybody had the best deal ever. So it's okay, how can I add value to? Seems like all these guys need, what they need is money. So I'm just leveraging on my own experiences. Okay, maybe I can do investor relations, talk to investors. That's what I've been doing, and my background in sales. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna, this is probably what is gonna get me in this industry. So I start looking for people, looking for the players or people who I saw potential, and just connect. At the beginning, like I wanted to talk to everybody and connect with everybody and just try to filter people who aligns to what I want to do, to my mission, to my values. Who do I see myself working with? Because this is a long-term play. I met a few guys in the industry. I was looking for somebody who was based out of Houston. I just thought it will be easier, and also we have a good market here. Connected with a couple guys, but then when I met Mike, I was like, most of you guys know him. I just saw like he wasn't the man that he is right now, and he didn't have as many units as he has right now. He didn't have massive capital, but I just saw in him that he was willing to help me. He was offering the hand, and he was very interested on me growing. He wasn't just, you're just gonna be a W2 job person. What's in it for me? Like, he was genuinely open to help me, and I was very clear. I want to get in multifamily. This is my background. Do you think I can add value to you? And he was like, yeah. And all these guys, they need help. Who doesn't need money for their deals? And it was like a loop of fate, because he wasn't where he is right now. Most of you guys know him, and he's on 3,000 units. And oh, that's amazing. But back then, he wasn't, and he didn't really know me. So it was just like a loop of fate for both. Let's do it and let's go all in. Let's figure it out. Like, he believed in me, I believe in him, and let's do it. So that's how I started. And I didn't start as investor relations. I just started helping him on everything, adding value where I could, just taking care of the little things. That's what I say, people, like, you never know how you can add value. Just start where you are with the skill set that we have. We all have different skill set. Somebody needs it, especially these guys. All the skills that we have are transferable to multifamily real estate. That's how I got. I'm always looking to do more of what was expected from me. And nowadays, I can tell you, I'm the one who is rolling up the sleeves, and I got you guys. I'm behind the scenes. I'm not the person who is always shining and talking and all that. Like, I'm behind the scenes, and I'm like trying to help them keep everything together and let him shine. To me, I gotta build somebody else before I build myself. But when you start adding value and you are honest about it and you have a good heart, like, people, like, opportunities to start flowing to you. And now that's why they decided to bring me as a GP. I wasn't really, what's in it for me, what's gonna be my share, what's the role description that I'm gonna be playing. I don't want to do that. That's not my job. I was just like, I just want to do it because I understand that the skills that I learned here, I can take them anywhere. And that's one of the things that I always say: work on the things that nobody can take away from you. Because if you're in a W2 job, they can get rid of you in a heartbeat. If you're in a partnership, the partnership can end. Being an immigrant, if Mr. Biden decides he doesn't want me here anymore, but the relationships that I have, the connections, the skill set, nobody's gonna take that away from you. And that happens when you invest in yourself first. Nobody's gonna take that power from you, that knowledge. Nobody can take it.
I'm curious if you ever came across this internal struggle where I don't really know where I plug in, or I don't know what I really bring to a team. Did you have to find yourself a little bit to know what you can plug in, or you just saw it immediately?
Uh, I guess yes and no. Like I always had those thoughts, and oh my gosh, these guys are brilliant and so amazing. What am I doing here? Oh my gosh, or doing so many mistakes. And I'm like, these guys are so patient with me. But at the same time, I was so clear on what I'm not good at that I was like, I need to make it happen on this way because I'm not trying to build a new skill set for me. I'm just trying to continue on this line. And to me, I wasn't planning to go wider. I was just planning to go deeper, especially in multifamily. There's so many things that you can do. Find a deal, underwriting, the loan itself is a whole monster, raising capital, operating the property. So it's so much that I was like, I'm just gonna stay here. And I found my point is like, how can I add value? How can I add more value? And I found out like they are good at that. They totally got all this side. They need help here. So I'm just gonna do better here. That's how I did it. But all the time I have those thoughts like, ah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how you said that too. It was like, I am not good at this. So just don't do that piece. And I know for me, I think it's a common issue that we're all faced with at some point in this business. It's such a wide area of expertise that you need to be able to do all of it. And that's why it's a team sport. And I was like, oh, I could do this piece and this piece. I understood all the pieces. There's not even enough time in a week to do all of the pieces. So you really do have to choose where you want to go. And it's just so smart when you were saying, like, not this over here. That will be a disaster. Or in my case, it was 100%. I could teach it. I could do it. Do I want to do it every day? Does it really fit and fill me up? And that was another question. I was like, oh, I can, but no.
But I don't want to.
I don't want to. Yeah. I love that you said it that way. And when it comes to over delivering, are you talking about becoming deeper in knowledge in what you do? How do you look for opportunities to always over deliver for your team?
It is hard, so for example, I'm just going to talk right now on capital raising, investor relations. That is the role that I play at Massive Capital. Right now we're growing so much, and of course so many people are raising money for us, so they don't really need me to raise money. However, they need me to follow up with investors, reach out to new investors. Like we have a pipeline with thousands of investors and nobody's doing it. Like always, to me, the way to over deliver is do the things that nobody wants to do.
It can really be that simple sometimes, right?
Sometimes it can be that simple because sometimes like we are looking to, oh, let me find the best deal for Massive Capital because everybody, that's what it's trying to do. Let me tell you, everybody's doing the same thing, but these guys they don't even need help with that. They have the experience, they have the relationships with brokers. So it's like, what am I stressing about that when I can add value here and just help them? And always looking for other ways to help them, to add value to them. Probably at the beginning when it was a smaller team and Mike and other team member, other business partners, yeah, they needed more help raising capital. But now it's like building a structure, putting systems in place, making sure everybody, it's just like everything gets bigger. So how can I still add value to them? So finding
Yeah,
all
so
these different ways.
yeah, so it's like being present as they grow and not just being so focused on the role that you have in front of you, but looking around always at a broader view and being like, oh, now that we're growing, these are the things that nobody's thinking about or touching. And
Uh,
so touch
I,
those things. Oh, wait, we're growing some more. I was able to backfill those things what are the other things that we're not touching? There's
Yeah,
always a piece that like can be very easily overlooked. So it sounds to me like those are the specific things that you're doing that nobody wants to do, maybe
little
because
gap. Yeah, I like to sit back and just find the little gaps and the things that nobody wants to do. Because being on the phone, that's one example. Being on the phone calling investors, no, I don't want to do it. Nobody wants to do it, but somebody has to do it. And while everybody's doing all these things, let me take care of this. So little things like that can really add value to your team, because it's one little piece here, one little piece here. When you realize is I have 1 million, I'm doing 1 million little things, and that's it. Just takes so much off their plates.
as you were growing your portfolio with multifamily as a whole, did you feel like your mindset about multifamily shifted at all, or maybe there was like lessons in the investing or lessons in becoming a general partner that you learned along the way?
So one of the things that I learned is how important is to take care of investors. I've been an investor myself, and it's so much like being in the middle or being the bridge between the investor and the GP, the operators. It's so much because you're pretty much just talking to investors. And so sometimes investors are investing their retirement accounts, that's all they have, or pulling money out of their businesses to trust us and put it in these deals. So it's like it's a lot of pressure. We need to deliver, and we need to make sure we deliver what we promise. So being there and understanding, like, it is a role, a big play, it is a big commitment that we have, a lot of responsibility, but that's why it's so important to do it with the right team. Because you like some of us or whoever is raising capital, like, it's so easy to sell the dream and just create generational wealth. Everybody has the best deal. But when it comes down to numbers and people, experienced operators and people who are actually gonna deliver, that's a whole different story. And having a team like Massive Capital is, oh my gosh, just thank God. It's just made me so confident because I know these guys understand everything and overanalyze everything, and they have the experience and they have the net worth. If anything goes out, like, they're gonna pull the trigger. And it's so important, if you guys are raising capital, like, just be careful who you raise capital for, because you are in the middle. You are putting yourself out there, and people trust you, and people trust you sometimes with everything that they have, their retirement accounts, or pulling equity out of their homes to invest in your deal. So you need to make sure you're gonna deliver. And sometimes, as I told you, I'm not very confident on myself. I couldn't do it myself, but having a team that I know is gonna deliver is just game changer.
Yeah, and I found too, because I got into raising capital, you really have to trust your team. You really have to like believe in the deal that you're raising for, knowing that your team will also perform like the way that the asset said it will perform, knowing that if anything did go south, that 100% like there's the net worth to cover it, and the investors are still on the good for their money. Like, it's so important because our whole goal here is to build generational wealth, and without that, we've got nothing. We have only our reputation in this business, and one bad deal can really hurt us, and that's all it takes. And so a team is crucial, and to know who you're working with is so important.
Yeah, I've been in the business for 1 year, but I already saw so much. And at the beginning, everybody's very committed. Everybody, let's do it. The partners, just everybody is just so committed. Nothing is going wrong. But as you start growing your portfolio, everybody start doing their own deals, or just so many things can happen right now. You guys know what's going on the market. Interest rates are, what's happening. So you need to make sure who you're partnering up with, because it's at least for 5 years. So definitely don't take it light. We all are good people. We all have the best intentions. We all want to help people create generational wealth, and we want to create it for ourselves, but you don't know what you don't know. And it's the risk that we have out there, but it's so important to do your due diligence on your teams, on partners, date before you get married. That's what, like, all these events are good, just to start connecting with people and understand how they work, how they operate, and if something doesn't feel good, trust it.
Yeah, that gut is intuition, and it is your friend
Trust your
for
gut.
sure. Yes, your team really does have the best intentions, the best heart, and we know that you guys can perform and take care of your investors as well. Yeah, it's all about team and finding those people with the right values as well as work ethic as you.
This is a society that we created. It's not necessarily just for women in real estate, but just for women in business, women who are kicking ass, that either like you are trying to create generational wealth, or you are already doing it. Like most of you are already doing it. You've been to some kind of education. So it's a platform for us to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually. I'm such a believer that in order to excel to your highest potentials in your professional life, you need to be aligned on every single aspect. You got to follow a purpose. And I created this with Brooke and some other women from Massive Capital. It will be just a way for us to share, help each other, support each other, and inspire each other, and just learn from different speakers how they made it. Somebody's doing something like all these women in the last year. I had attended to so many events, and it's mind blowing how well people do is. What's your secret? In different industries, not just real estate, but there's so much money out there. There's no scarcity, and can you share how you do it? And for us that we are in the process of creating wealth, and what's the next step, and how do I find my place, that will be a good community and platform for all of us to grow on every single aspect of our lives. We just need to collaborate, because together we're so powerful.
Jazmin, thank you so much for your story and for sharing with us. Jazmin, did you have any last comments that you wanted to add?
If I can just leave you with one piece of advice, start where you are. Start where you are with what you have, and let's rock. Let's rock and roll, because somebody needs your gifts. Somebody out there needs what you have. You just need to put yourself out there. Nobody's gonna come and give you an opportunity. You need to go and find it. So let's go.
Time to take it. Go ahead and check out Massive Capital, their deals, as well as Society. Thank you for watching Ladies Night with me, Steph Dablowski. I create wealthier women by providing exclusive access to private equity commercial real estate investments. If you're interested, check out my contact details in the description below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.